What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. I thought I was recording, but I actually was not recording. I had a video that was almost done and was checking on something, and I saw that it wasn't even recording. You know, I'm going to make sure. Yeah, we are recording now. So I tried to eat 33 tacos earlier today. I had to tap out at 28.5. And I'm glad I did, because I definitely would have thrown up, man, if I kept eating more. I did not throw up. I kind of wish I did, because counter to what I was just saying, if I threw up, I'd probably feel better than I do now. But win or lose, I'm sure I would be met with the same feeling that I have now. I just don't have a free t-shirt. And I had to pay for my tacos. But without any more of that, guys, let's actually talk about the technical analysis, get into this here. I made a video yesterday talking about how I thought we would make a move up to like 235 to 240, and I put an emphasis on the number 238. We actually went all the way up to a high of 236.99, let's call it 237, so I was off just a little bit, but more or less correct on that call. The reason for that was, this is kind of like a topping area here on a closing basis, and that's like at 238.67, so I was thinking that we might go somewhere around there. Right here even, it's like a bottoming closing area that we found support on before, confirmed it as resistance. You know how that story goes. All this was a lower high overall. And I did say yesterday, we might go a little bit higher. It is possible. We could even get a higher high than this, and it still ultimately be bad. But I really wasn't expecting that, and I really wasn't expecting a high that would take this out. But again, I laid it out as a possibility, because even if it were to happen, it doesn't mean we're out of the woodworks yet. Though it would start to look better, for sure. But looking at this thing on a daily, actually we can look at it on a weekly first. Yeah, I don't know. I keep coming back to this, because the weekly, it takes a lot longer to form, but we were overbought for the longest amount of time we've ever been, by like 2 times the amount. The longest that we've ever spent in the overbought zone before was 3 weeks. We were 6 weeks overbought here, 6 weeks in the overbought zone before we break out, and then we also saw the highest reading in the RSI on a weekly basis that Bitcoin Cash has ever seen in its history. This was the closest, and it was oh so slightly lower. You can see, if I put a line right here, right at the top there, they look identical. Let me see here. They're not, though, I promise. I've done this enough times. You can see the gap, right? You see the gap on this one right here. Gap there, no gap there. It even actually breaks through it a little bit. Slightly higher. So you've been overbought for the longest amount of time you've ever been. You saw the strongest readings. Could we see a more dramatic pullback because of that? Maybe. Could we see a less dramatic pullback because it was the strongest reading, implying that maybe the downside isn't going to be as strong? Maybe. I think there's arguments to be made on both sides there. Generally, I would say, though, with Bitcoin Cash, the way it likes to react is whenever you come out of the overbought zone, within 4 weeks' time, if not sooner, you see 43% drop or more from the top to the bottom, right? From the top being in the overbought zone to the bottom, or relative low, maybe not the bottom. So from the top to the low here, we're only at 34%. And I do think I have been calling for something more along the lines of 50 to 60%. The reason for that is, this top over here is right there at about 50%. If we go to the closing highs here, that's at 58%, right around 60%. So something like that makes sense. Also, if we were to take the low here to the high, the fib level, the perfect like golden area, golden pocket, is right here between the 618 and the 0.69, which is at 135 to 140. Also, surprise, surprise, right in this area where you've had tops before. I know you can't see it as well here, but yeah. Topping area there, topping area there. And 135, I think, would be like a 61% drop, maybe just under. Let's see, actually. What would that be? Just under 60%. Close enough, but not quite there. Anyways, we are right now out of the overbought zone. We've been out of the overbought zone for 1 week, 2 weeks, and this is our 3rd week. We have 4 days, 22 hours left, basically 5 days left. Could we see some big movements happen this week? It's possible. Could we see them happen next week? It's possible. Could we not see anything like we've seen before, because we have shown indications and price action and volume that we've never seen before? Absolutely. So it's really hard to say. All I can say right now is, looking at the daily, I would expect that we go lower. I want to actually start with the 4 hour. Let's go from the 15-minute and build our way up to the daily. So on the 15-minute, the RSI looks like it's in a downtrend. You can see that, right? Lower highs on lower lows. You can even see here, let's see, if I try to zoom this in a little bit, you've got a higher high in your RSI here, but a lower high in price. That is hidden bearish divergence. You actually came down. You're forming like a flat base here with a descending formation. This is some kind of a descending triangle, I would say, but not classically because you have this wick here, but I don't know. To some degree, it kind of is. Hard to say. It could be like a pennant of some sorts, but to me it does look bearish, and the RSI looks bearish. Looking at the 1 hour, speeding through this, 1 hour looks bearish as well. You had this bearish divergence over here, where you have the top right here, higher high here, lower high here, and then you just shit the bed. And I think that this does want to get into the oversold zone, and you'll probably see stronger moves to the downside today because of that. And when I say stronger moves, I don't mean like the strongest moves that we've seen so far out of this little downtrend. I just mean stronger than these moves, which we're kind of already seeing right now. We're in the midst of it right now. But yesterday, the reason I was saying that 238 would likely be a level that we go around, right? And we went all the way up to 236.99. The reason I was saying that is because mainly this 4 hour, man, it just looks so bullish. Look at how before this, obviously, I made it somewhere around here. I want to say I don't know where. No, it had to have been. What was it? Was it? It had to have been somewhere around here, actually, right? Like one of these. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I made it like right. I don't remember, man. I thought I made it before this pump up, but maybe I made it during that pump up. I don't know. Honestly, don't remember. I'm trying to think about it. Maybe I did. Maybe I made it on that 4 hour candle. I honestly don't remember, guys. Because we did. No. We did have this bounce off of the 50. I think we were down here. This was before we had this like nice pump up. We were probably still down a little bit around like 228. Probably around the prices were a little bit higher than now. I don't know. I'm getting confused. What I'm trying to say, guys, is I was bullish because of this RSI. It looked nice. You can see that, right? Higher lows, higher highs. Neutral overall right here, but it was looking like it was building momentum to the upside. Unfortunately, we did not get overbought. Couldn't even get there. We actually rejected that area, and now we're getting lower lows in the RSI. To be fair, we have 58 minutes left, about an hour left in this 4 hour candle, and if it closes here, this potential hidden bullish divergence we have where there's lower lows, but technically not lower lows in the price yet, right? Here's your low here, but this low is higher. This candle is yet to close. If this candle can close in the next hour, 0.13% in the green, there will still be hidden bullish divergence presenting itself. That doesn't mean that it can't be negated. Just basically close below this 4 hour here, and that will negate it, and then that would probably imply, that we are starting a downtrend, which I think we are. You can see it in the RSI. We had this nice little uptrend, and we've broken clearly out of it. I think we'll go into the oversold zone down here as well. How far? I don't know. I doubt that we see a move like this, though, where we just ping. Oops, I doubt we see a move like that. I doubt we see a move like this, where we bounce right off it, kind of like we did here at the top. I very much doubt that we see that. I would expect that we go into the oversold zone, and with that, we'd probably see a move that takes us out of this overall range that we've been in since about August 2nd, right? It's August 15th now, August 16th on this day, so 2 weeks basically, right? And yes, we moved up here, but this is just a fake out. I would say that this is overall in the same range. One could argue that this overall is one big range itself. Like literally, like this whole part could be one range, right? You had a move down into this range, and then this is your range right here. You had a range up here, broke out of it. Here's your bridge between it, and then you got your next bubble. We've just been in this range for a long time. Anyways, maybe not. Maybe you could consider it like this is a range here, this is a range here. I don't know. However you want to look at it. But what I'm trying to get to is, if this is overall a big price range, then our next move down, seeing like out of from this low here, probably would be on the lines of something like this, but bigger. And the reason I say bigger is because I've said this in my past few videos that we would be getting closer and maybe even into the oversold zone, this area, the black area down here. And just like you see your strongest moves when you're in the overbought zone, you see your strongest moves to the downside when you're in the oversold zone. So comparing that where we started going down to like all this, if we were to get into the oversold zone, I think that we would see stronger moves than anything else we've seen so far. Maybe a move that finally takes us below 200, below 190. Man, I am battling these tacos right now, guys. Whew. Oh. I don't get indigestion, but I think I have indigestion, man. But, just lower highs, lower lows in the RSI. Kind of like how the 4 hour was looking bullish, right? Same kind of like upward slope there. Look at the daily. It's like the same thing, but to the downside. So it's obviously a little bit different, but that's kind of the idea, in my opinion, there. So I really got nothing else to add. We very well could see prices that take us lower than this low today. It could happen today on this candle. If not today, I would expect this week. I actually am expecting this week that we see. Now, does that mean that I think we're going to go down to the original price targets that I have in mind? No. We could. We absolutely could. But I think, more likely by the end of this week, we'll probably be closer to around like anywhere from about 195 to 213, something like that. Somewhere between this high close here, which is at 212 actually, and this low close here, which is at 194. So somewhere in that range is where I would expect us to be by the end of this week. That's my disposition. That's my opinion right now. So it might not happen, but that's what the call is. I don't normally call time frames. I do say things like this is going to happen soon, but I won't like specify when. But maybe I'm just feeling ballsy because I made this call yesterday and I made this call here correctly, and just so far, have yet to be proven wrong that we are continuing to move down. This to me just looks like another lower high. I did say this in yesterday's video. Here we had our lower low. You had a lower high here, right? Then you had a second lower high, and then you moved down. Okay? Then you had your lower low. You had your second lower low, or your second, yeah. I guess it wasn't a lower low, was it? I don't know. Your second low here, and then you moved up, whatever. Here you had your lower high. You had your second lower high. Maybe we're going to get ready to move down. I don't know. Something like that. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely keep you updated on that. You guys know I like to make videos on this every day, so I don't think I have anything else I want to add to this. I think, looking at it from an overall perspective, Bitcoin Cash is not in trouble, you guys. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that it's taking its time before it moves up. I know you guys want to see it go up. Everybody wants to see it go up to $1,000, but think about it like this, man. Maybe you can only put away $100 a month. Maybe you can put away $1,000 a month. Maybe more, whatever. But if you've got money that you're trying to invest in this thing, it's just giving you more opportunities. That's all it is, man. Let it go lower. Let it go lower. Let it give you more opportunities. And I really do think it will. And I think ultimately, if you guys have been following the channel, I think that it's going down, come on now, anywhere from a low to high here, probably around the 618 to the 69, right around 148 to 135 to be more specific. But to be like general, I would say that there is potential for it to bottom somewhere around 185, if not, even like just below 173, somewhere in this range as well. So anywhere from about, I would say 185 to 135 overall, somewhere in this white zone here. These like white ranges, the white lines. It's not a white range. It can be it can be white, black, brown. I don't care. It's not. We're not segregating the range here. It's just the lines, man. That's all they are. It's a black zone encompassed by white lines. Okay, so we can share it. What I'm trying to say though is 185 to 135 ultimately is where I think we go, and most likely, more likely, in my opinion, I think we'll go somewhere around these highs here, maybe even around this high here. Previous area of resistance becomes support. That's kind of my expectation. So if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, you can leave a thumbs down, but comment. Tell me why you don't like the video. Is it my face? Do you just not like me? Do I talk too much? Like, I guess I don't need to know like all that stuff, but if you have feedback, I'm always open to feedback, man. So anyways, have a good day, guys. Take care. I appreciate all of you. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.